Okay, people, it's time for us to dive back into Battletech, and today we are doing a contract mission. We haven't left the planet that we were on before. What planet are we on? I actually have no idea what planet we're on. Ah, yes, it is the planet whose name I cannot pronounce. Lin. Anyway, we're doing another battle-type mission with a pretty hefty maximum payout, though not as high as before. So I think this time we can forego a little bit of cash in exchange for some salvage. Still bringing in 130,000 credits for a chance at 8 pieces of salvage and 2 that we get to select. That feels pretty comfortable. I'm going to accept that and we'll get right into the mission. We're going into this one a man and a mech down just like before, but I'm feeling very confident in my loadout. The Shadowhawk and the Vindicator worked very well together. So I'm still a little bit unhappy with the overall makeup of the Shadowhawk, but it performed very well. The LRMs were powerful when we got to use them, but the main thing that we saw in the previous mission was the capabilities of the sensor lock. So the Shadowhawk is filling a very supportive role for us, but he can pack a punch if need be. The Vindicator, of course, doing a lot of work with the PPC, shredding targets from long range, and because it's piloted by Behemoth, it doesn't have to move, and it gets that bulwark ability, reducing incoming damage. Finally, Glitch is coming back, piloting her trusty Blackjack with the 2 AC2s, 4 medium lasers, and 4 jump jets. So she's very agile. She's got the multi-target ability, so if there are a lot of vehicles, she can hit several of them in a single turn, possibly eliminate multiple targets in a single turn. So let's get out there and do what we do best, and that's whoop ass. Commander, we're trying to safely transport injured personnel to one of our facilities on the planet whose name I cannot pronounce. Unfortunately, satellite surveillance has shown Kappa land units operating in the region. We're expecting to move our medical convoy through. We need a mercenary lance to sweep the area and eliminate any Kappa land units. Please think of this contract as a mission of mercy. As long as mercy comes with a good payout, I'm all for it. Let's do it. Alright, the enemy units aren't too far away, so we can kind of just get right into it and start putting in work. Now, one thing that happened in the previous mission was we had a huge burst of DPS from our Centurion mech. But this time, we don't have that luxury of having a crazy high damage mech at our disposal. So we're going to have to take a slightly more conservative approach to this. What I think will be best is operating at super long ranges. The AC2s are incredibly long range weapons, so if we keep the Blackjack far out of range of our opponents, we should do well. Same goes for Behemoth and Gunner in the Shadowhawk and the Vindicator. If we stay at the maximum range our weapons allow, we can poke down the enemies and they'll just be shooting medium lasers at us and probably whiffing completely. So that's going to be the strategy. We'll also try and get the height advantage on these two guys over here, and Blackjack will take the brunt of the assault. I think this will be good because it'll allow us to potentially flank some targets, get some nice focus fire on the sides while the Blackjack concentrates the enemy fire forward. That feels okay. So far, no enemy contacts, even though we've made a considerable number of moves. Hopefully this next set of sprints will reveal the enemies. Yes, it did. We've got our eyes on an enemy mech on radar. So for this last bit, I'm going to sprint into this mineral field. These mineral deposits are interfering with targeting systems. +4 difficulty to hit units within a mineral field. +2 difficulty for attacks made by units within a mineral field. Alright, so that's interesting. I'm going to walk into it, and that's going to be a very safe move. We're not going to stay there when we start firing. But yeah, that's a real safe spot. If we need to, we can retreat back into that mineral field if we start taking too much damage. So the first enemy mech on radar that's moving is a lightweight. Looks like we got 2 lightweights, both moving in the 4th initiative phase. Unfortunately, no vision going to be gained on our targets. But we can sensor lock, right? Yeah, we could sensor lock, but let's give it a try. Let's go ahead and sensor lock this guy. So let's see what he is. As soon as the enemy turn finishes, we got... Alright, so it looks like we're dealing with 4 mechs here. That's a bit intimidating. Enemy Shadowhawk taking a shot at us. The evasion plus the mineral field gonna ensure our safety. Now, a commando. I don't think I've ever seen this mech before. Maybe I have, but I don't recall it. Either way, it's not very powerful. A large laser could be intimidating. Medium laser, SRM2. Overall, this is a pretty long-range mech, but if we deal with it, then we won't have any problems. So what I'll do is I'll move up with the Vindicator, get a nice view of the entire battlefield, and then this is going to be her spot to post up for the rest of the mission, pretty much. It's time to start laying into targets. Hello, buddy. Now, he is entrenched right now. Entrenched. Now, this guy is braced, so we're not going to deal our maximum damage, but we can fire our full assortment of weapons minus the small laser, so we can expect at least some decent damage to come out. Bang. Wham. Unfortunately, no structures have been exposed, but we did loosen up the armor a little bit. We're loosening the pickle jar. The Vindicator taking a hit from a PPC from the enemy mech. That's a bit intimidating. We're going kind of a long-range battle here. It's unfortunate that we don't have the Centurion, because he would have done great in this mission. He could get up close in the space where the enemies can't use the effective range of their weapons, but now we have to sort of play a long-range game, and that kind of stinks. So I think what I'm going to do is line of sight the Shadowhawk to limit what he can fire at the Blackjack, and just kind of hammer in. Actually, maybe I shouldn't hammer into the Commando. You know what? Let's take a little bit of a risk here. Actually, that's too risky. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to move over here. Because the other spot, I may have put myself in a position to get flanked by the Shadowhawk, and I don't want that to happen. He's got some pretty powerful guns. This guy, another Vindicator. All right. Yeah, we'll take another shot at the Commando. He's still braced, of course, but we can fire our full assortment of weapons, getting some nice damage out. Alright, some good connects, damaged the armor on the arm. We may be able to take this guy out in the next turn. A second Commando. Overall, I'm not too worried about this. The enemy composition. We've got 2 big threats and 2 smaller threats. The Commandos aren't very serious, but the Vindicator has a huge potential to mess this up. The Shadowhawk is very well-rounded, can still screw us over with that AC-5. Large laser getting a big hit on the Blackjack, taking a head injury on the pilot. Very unfortunate, but no damage has been done to the mech, so that feels good. Now that this guy is up close and personal, I really feel like we should take him out as quickly as possible. He's got 3 points of evasion, so we're probably going to go for the sensor lock play again with our Shadowhawk. Just that supportive role is too good to pass up. So we'll go for the sensor lock, and take that guy out. This is going to be a tough one. We're getting these heavier targets to deal with, and it is a bit stressful. But overall, we're doing a good job. I think our positioning is much better this time than it was in the previous mission, because we're not taking any critical damage just yet.
Good to go.
So, the Commando has moved out of the effective range of our AC-2s. He's too close now. So if I want to make use of those, I need to back up a bit. There's this really weird sweet spot with the medium lasers and the AC-2s where they both have pretty good chances to hit. And I think it's somewhere around here. Yeah, it's this very, very weird sweet spot where the medium lasers are kind of falling too far away, and the AC-2 is almost too close from that spot, but it's a sweet spot. But if I did jump to this position, it's going to raise my heat pretty considerably, and I might not be able to fire all of my weapons. So it might be in my best interest to just stay. Or maybe instead, I'll leave the Blackjack where it is and fire with the Vindicator first. Yeah, let's do that. Vindicator, do your stuff.
Engaging.
Going for that leg, but not enough to take it down. It's very unfortunate. This could get a little bit tense. The enemy Vindicator jumping in. The PPC shot gonna damage our structure a bit. but I imagine
Can't take many more
they're
hits
not
like
going to be
that.
able to fire their PPC anymore after jumping like that. Yeah, they've overheated themselves. So that does give us a bit of wiggle room. But with the blackjack, we're definitely going to have to play it a bit more safe because we took that extra damage. So I think it's going to be in our best interest to just move back into the mineral field, using it as some additional cover. So we'll just, yeah, we'll jump over here and then we'll brace.
Commander.
And in the coming turns, we'll jump back out and start taking some shots.
Oh, sorry, Commander. I'm hit.
It's okay. I'm taking a lot of pilot injuries today, which is unfortunate, but I'd much rather our pilots get injured than a mech get destroyed or completely mangled. That feels a little bit better. For some reason. Maybe it shouldn't, I don't know. But at this point, we can finally start using the long-range missiles on our Shadowhawk and the AC-5 as well, because the commando that we've been targeting does not have any evasion, but he's moved out of line of sight, so we've got to move around in order to get the shot on him. From right here, we've got line of sight with everything, but the AC-5 is out of range, and that is our heavy-hitting tool. So I'm going to move up even closer. Unfortunately, we're leaving cover to do this, but it feels like a worthwhile exchange. Leaving cover to get a big burst of damage with all of our weapons, that feels like a good trade. You know, I haven't said this for a while, but I'm really enjoying Battletech. The strategy for this game is very deep. There's a very, very real sense of thought that goes into every decision that I make, and every move feels like it needs to be carefully curated, or else people are going to start getting injured, we're going to lose body parts on our mechs, and it's overall not going to be good for anyone. And that, again, that's what you want in a strategy game. You don't want it to feel like you don't have to think in order to win, except for maybe when you get to the end game. I think that's something that XCOM did very well, is when you got to the end of the game, you could pretty much close your eyes and just click away, and enemies are going to just disintegrate. And that was fun, especially after grinding through a crazy difficult campaign where it feels like anything could happen, and you know, there was so much struggle throughout the course of the XCOM campaign that having a chance to sit back and relax and in the end game until you get to the final mission, it felt really nice. And I imagine something similar will happen with with Battletech. I always call it Mech Warrior. You know, because once we start getting some heavy mechs and just loading them down with stupid amounts of rockets and AC-20s, we can probably dookie blast enemies in a single hit, and that'll be really fun. Now, our blackjack is in a weird position. She moves very late in the phases. She's the last person to move, so this Vindicator might get a flank on her in the next turn. Probably won't be able to fire the PPC without overheating itself, but that's still a bit worrisome. So what I want to do is just move to a position where it becomes more difficult for this thing to fire on her. I also want to generate some evasion, so I'm going to move over here. This should be an alright spot, and then I'll just brace myself. Just trying to get that heat down as low as possible, keep the blackjack safe. We're also still in the mineral field, I believe. I think we're still in the mineral field, so we're going to be a very hard target to hit from over here. Now, what is the commando doing? Looks like he's going... Nope, he's going for the Vindicator. I'm surprised the enemies are focusing so hard on the Vindicator. It's been braced to this whole time because of the Bulwark ability. But, you know, they think they can whittle it down, and they are slowly but surely whittling it down. We're running out of armor on our left arm. Our core is taking a pretty good beating, and same goes for our right leg. So we may want to pull the Vindicator back a little bit and brace it down. And we're going to need to anyway because it's overheating. So, yeah, the Vindicator is going to take a break for a turn
On my way.
and cool itself down. There you go. You relax, and then next turn, you unload everything on that commando. We're leaving the medium mechs till the end, which is maybe not the best idea because they have more firepower than the commandos. Yeah.
That got through my armor, Commander.
But we'll see. We'll see if we're making poor decisions or not. Now at this point, Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk or Commando? We can't really do anything about the Commando because he's got 3 points of evasion, and I don't want to sensor lock it. At this point, we need to start taking shots. So we're gonna go back to that stick and move strategy. Shadowhawk is gonna move back into cover, turn around, and unload everything. The Vindicator continuing to use its jump jets even though it's hot as hell. Firing everything except the PPC. That is what I expected to happen. It's not deliberately overheating itself like Grim Sybil did in a previous mission. So now is our time to shine with the Blackjack. We've gone a long time sort of not doing a great job with it, but we can finally jump back and fire everything. And we're going to start focusing down the Shadowhawk. It doesn't have any evasion. We can get some big damage on this bad boy. Glitch, give him the spanking he deserves and the one he needs. We could even go for a precision shot, maybe? Yeah, we're going to go for a precision shot on that segment of the torso because it's got ammo in it. And if we can blow it up, then that'll cause a chain reaction, knock off the arm. There's nothing in that arm, but hey, I won't be mad if it blows off. That's all I'm saying.
Commencing Alpha Strike.
Yes. Yes.
Critical hit.
Yes. Yes. that worked. It's always nice when a plan comes together the way you want it to in a strategy game because there's so much randomness involved. Even if you have 80% chances to hit or 90%, there's that 10% that you're going to be very disappointed and want to go on a very, very crazy drunken bender. So now we all have the jump on this enemy Shadowhawk because we knocked it back in initiative phase. So we can probably kill it in this round. The question is, how do we do that? The Blackjack is such a weird mech. I might have to redesign this thing a little bit. I might have to take off some jump jets in exchange for heat sinks because I can't Alpha Strike 2 turns in a row without overheating. And that's a bit annoying because this thing has so much firepower that it doesn't get to capitalize on. The AC2s are great, but they're more of a support weapon, and right now I need big damage. So you know what? We'll switch back over to Behemoth. We gave her the rest that she needed. We can pull back and then take a shot. Yeah, we'll go into the cover because we're not going to get much evasion from this, and then we've got pretty good chances to hit with everything on the Shadowhawk.
Acknowledged.
Could go for another precision shot, but I don't think it's necessary. Yeah, there's nothing really exposed on him, so another precision shot is not necessary as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to fire everything. Hope we get some good hits. Alright, always good when the PPC hits its target. That arm is going to fall off pretty soon. Blackjack in cover, 3 pips of evasion. Nothing bad is happening. The AI not doing a great job of manipulating the Vindicator. A brace on the previous turn would have been much better than just moving around and firing the small arms. But hey, I'm not mad at them for not doing a good job. In fact, I'm happy that they're doing poorly. Now, our boy over here, the Shadowhawk, he needs to move to get in better range for his LRMs. So that is exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to pull back and blast into the Shadowhawk. I think we got this in the bag, but there's so much potential for some dumb shit to happen. The Blackjack is gonna die. Place your bets now, people. Do you think the Blackjack is gonna survive this mission, or is some dumb shit gonna happen? Hey, we got a knockdown. And it's time for some more big plays with the Blackjack. I'm gonna try and core the Shadowhawk that's on the ground. Gonna jump up onto this ledge. It's gonna give us 3 points of evasion, not bad. And then we're gonna blast him. We're also going to use Vigilance because we need as much defense as we can get. Alright, Vigilance. giving us entrenched and that extra initiative for the next turn. Then we're going to go for the Shadowhawk's core. How much health does it have left? If we hit the SRM ammo, then that'll explode, and we'll kill the Shadowhawk that's grounded. But if we don't hit the ammo, then I don't think these two AC2 shots will kill. Because they only do 50 damage. It has 85 health left on the core. I'm going to try it, though. We'll see what happens. Did I click that right? Yeah, I did.
Roger that.
Nothing. Hit the jump jets. Not what I wanted, but it's okay.
Reporting. Minimal damage. Firing everything I've got.
Damn it, Glitch. You're not doing well today. I'm gonna have to kick you off the team if you keep messing up like this. Whew. I should have moved the Blackjack back into cover before taking the shot, but I just assumed I was going to get the kill on the Vindicator. I got cocky there, folks. Really glad we didn't die because of that, because that was definitely a huge misplay. But now that the Commando's out of the mineral field, we can take it out in the next turn, no problem. But he does have better accuracy himself now that he's not standing in there, so it's a bit of a double-edged sword. We're going to try and take down the Vindicator, though. One good shot in the core and he's done. Got 260s, not bad. Off the fucking team.
Reporting heavy damage.
Oh no, 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 no. Oh my god. Mini heart attack. This needs to be over now because at this point we are on borrowed time. There's no reason any of our mechs should be alive at this point, especially the Blackjack. Please, for the love of everything that is holy, shoot the Vindicator in the core. I would really love for you to just eliminate this thing right now. Please and thank you in advance, Behemoth. Oh my god, she missed.
Negative damage.
Not good.
Waiting for orders.
Well, maybe Glitch can save herself. If Glitch gets this kill, then that should be okay. If she doesn't get the kill, she's probably gonna die. 65, that's not good. 60. Really? Is all I can get a 65? Is that too close? What the fuck is up with that? Please kill the Vindicator. For your own sake, you need to kill the Vindicator. Oh my god, thank you. Oh, what a catastrophe. This was supposed to be a walk in the park and it wound up being ridiculous. Alright, so the Commando is the only thing left, and we've got more than enough firepower to kill it in one turn, especially since it's walking out of the mineral field. But man, oh man, was this a stressful mission. We took a lot of damage on our Blackjack. That thing is going to need some considerable repairs. Our pilots also got injured pretty heavily, so that's going to be annoying. But overall, nobody's going to die, so that's fine. Because the thing with a dead pilot is not that crazy, because pilots are relatively inexpensive to recruit. A destroyed mech is an absolute catastrophe in every sense of the word. But at the same time, I don't like wasting experience. And if you get a pilot killed who has a lot of upgrades, a lot of experience points, then you're losing out on a lot of abilities and progress that you could have otherwise saved had you not played like a jackass. And now our PPC is missing its target for no reason other than the game wants to spite me.
Right, Commander.
I guess it's about time, because we've had a pretty good run with that thing. We've landed so many shots that we probably should have missed. I think it's about time that the PPC fails us. Oh my gosh. Please, with the... just... oh god.
You can see daylight through my armor!
Yeah, don't remind me, okay? I'm not happy about it either. Oh my god, seriously? Dude, seriously? Come on. Come on with the commando. Honestly, I feel like I have to give the commando props for surviving this long and kind of ruining what would have been an otherwise solid game. Because if this commando didn't expose the structure just now on my Vindicator, then we would have gotten away pretty much scot-free. But whatever, little guy. I think you've outlived your usefulness.
All weapons.
Look, if we don't kill the commando right now, he's gonna kill Glitch. Simple as that. Thank you. What a mess. What an absolute mess. Alright, we did it. It's time to go back to the mech bay and check things out. That was tough. That was really tough. We got the 130 grand reward. A lot of repairs to do. We're gonna have to spend 40 days injured, 26 days injured for Glitch. That sucks. We're gonna have to recruit some new pilots. Now, for the salvage, we can almost build ourselves a commando, which is pretty cool. I'll go ahead and take both of those pieces as the guarantee. Because he was a pretty cool mech, I'm not gonna lie. He did a decent job. He's got 3 missile hardpoints, a support weapon, can have 6 jump jets, and a single laser. That's pretty cool. He's pretty decent. I might fiddle around with that. And if I don't like it, I'll just sell it. Everything else is just heat sinks, ammo, nothing too crazy. No high quality weapons, which is a bit disappointing, but that's okay. To wrap this up, like I said, I was going to go to the mech bay and fiddle around with the blackjack. And since we're going to have to repair it anyway, we may as well do a refit on it at the same time. The heat efficiency on this guy is absolute dog crap. They don't get to make use of their medium lasers much at all. So that's very annoying. So why don't we get rid of some of these jump jets and put in some heat sinks instead. Now heat sinks are heavier than jump jets, so we're gonna have to make some concessions elsewhere. Why don't we take off 2 medium lasers, maybe even strip down the AC2s and try something different. Alright, we've changed up the blackjack quite a bit. We've taken off all of its heat sinks and 2 of its medium lasers, which is giving us a better heat efficiency simply because we don't have to worry about firing 4 medium lasers on every turn to make use of our maximum firepower. We also switched off the AC2s for an AC5. These deal 45 damage per shot instead of 25, so that's 20 more damage, but they have a lower maximum range. But the range of the AC5 is a bit more in line with the range of the medium laser, so there should be a bit more crossover in terms of the effective ranges of all of our weapons. We can get into that sweet spot a little bit better. We've got 2 piles of ammo for our AC5, which might be overkill, but we'll stick with it for now. If I feel like I don't need that ammo, then I'll switch it out for an additional jump jet, or maybe even another laser, maybe even some small lasers to make this a very versatile mech overall. And then we've got 2 jump jets, so we can still fly around a little bit, but it's going to be significantly less than what we were doing because we had 4 jump jets before. So this, I think, will be a pretty solid loadout for the blackjack. Overall, it's going to pack a much harder punch from range because of the AC5, but it's going to have a lower maximum range. But realistically, we want to stay in that sweet spot of medium long range with this guy so we can fire all of our weapons every single turn, get big DPS going with this guy. because that's not what we had. We had these one little shining moments where we did an alpha strike and then everything was running too hot and we couldn't really capitalize on the potential of the mech. So this, I like it. And overall, we've got nearly maximum armor on all of the parts that really need it. The legs are the weakest part on this guy, but we should be good. I'm going to confirm that it's going to take 23 days, which is actually not that bad. Travel time to a new planet is about 17 days, so that feels great. Confirm. Right. Thumbs up. And we've also got to repair the Vindicator. But before we do that, I want to check to see if there's anything I can change about the Vindicator. We had really good success with them in that mission. They took a pounding, of course. They got hit a lot, but no serious damage. The only thing that didn't get used at all was this little bitch-ass small laser. So get rid of it. It doesn't need to be there. We didn't fire it once. Another thing we can change is the position of this medium laser. You can put it on the arm to give it increased accuracy. But then again, by doing that, this arm, I've taken most of the armor off because there wasn't really anything of value in it. I do feel obliged to put a little bit more armor on it now, especially because I'm considering putting another medium laser in and taking off a jump jet. Alright, and I think this is going to work out. We swap. The SRMs have the same effective ranges as the medium lasers, which I did not realize. So we don't need to worry about packing on extra lasers onto this guy. And truth be told, we don't really want to, because that's going to mess with our heat. What we want is to have always enough wiggle room to fire our PPC. Any turn where we're not firing the PPC is a problem, because that is the bread and butter for the Vindicator. And whenever we can fire the PPC, we can usually fire short-range missiles because they don't generate a lot of heat compared to the medium lasers. Now, the SRM-4 might cause some problems with that because it's generating 8 instead of 6, but I think this will work out for the better. And we're not going to change any of the armor values. I love having this thing as the super tank. It's got maxed out armor on the torso, right torso, left torso, head, and right arm where the PPC is, with a very beefy center torso. Legs are a little bit skinny, but those don't take too much damage. And since we're in Bulwark most of the time with this guy, we don't need to worry about it. The left arm isn't heavily armored, only 45 out of 70, but there's only a medium laser in there, so it's not a huge deal. I like this. Vindicator, confirm it. Cancel. Repair all. Confirm. 7 days, not bad. And as for the Shadowhawk, again, still not super happy with it. But, you know, we'll go in and refit it another time. I'm going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to have to deal with another mission, if I'm remembering correctly. We've still got one more that we can do on this planet before we leave. So, it's going to be a tough one because we're not going to have our strongest mechs to field. So, with all of that said, the name of the game is Battletech. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.